So, hi everyone. Today we have Kieran, Alison, Megan, and Kieran. Today we're getting together to talk about mental health. It is World Mental Health Day on October 10th. We also had Mental Health Awareness Month all this month, and there was Suicide Prevention Day earlier this month too. So, in line with that, we're going to talk about these guys' experience of stigma and discrimination and stereotyping of people with mental health conditions, and maybe give examples of how they felt discriminated or judged, and maybe give a little bit of facts about their condition or conditions in general, to maybe dispel some of those silly rumours that people have about certain mental health conditions. So kicking off, we have Kieran Page, and he's going to chat about his experience.
There's kind of so many things to pull from. I have Tourette's. I get myself in situations a lot. Do you know what I mean? The amount of times I've been in a situation because of Tourette's it's unbelievable. Like a few weeks back, I was trying to get off a bus and I froze in the spot. That happens with Tourette's. I was freeze, can't move my legs, and the bus doors closed on me. And I had a backpack on.
Oh no!
I was kind of had to fight me.
Oh
no!
no!
It was just embarrassing, but stuff like that happens all the time with Tourette's. Like,
and do you find people, anyone has ever been like mean or rude to you?
Yeah. Now mostly people are nice, but once or twice, there has been mean. Mostly people are very understanding now. That especially I use public transport. Go take. Go, and the bus drivers never once gave out to me, and I've caused mayhem on the buses, like with the Tourette's. Like I always get loud for some reason, but they've never given out to me once. I said it to one of the bus drivers not so long. I'll say thanks to all their mates. They're great. He's never gave out to me once. Always support me when I forgot me if we chat past.
That's so nice.
Yeah, they're all so
That's
nice.
lovely, yeah. Very good.
That's lovely to hear positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't if I was thinking like a few people have like shouted at me from across the street and stuff.
Really?
But, yeah, well, like just said, shut up, that kind of thing.
Oh my god.
That's happened a lot, like. But
That's terrible.
so it's a funny little story. Is one time I was on a bus and this kind of lovely Down syndrome girl, she's young enough, and she really didn't like when I was making noise with Tourette's. I thought she's gonna jump up our seat and throw me off the bus, but that's just a
Isn't
funny
it gas
little story.
though
She
that
didn't
even
like
other people that have their own conditions can still not be kind of tolerant?
Yeah.
Now I wasn't angry with her.
No,
like that.
no, but still.
She was just being honest about it. The way they're honest people.
Yeah.
People with Down syndromes. I tried to keep it lit down and keep quiet because I was spooking her, So.
And what about like?
That loud noise could
What
trigger
about
things.
Well,
for some
true,
people.
yeah. What about I suppose false news about Tourette's? Like, what's fake news? Like, as in people think that Tourette's is cursing involuntarily, and do you want to give
Tourette's
people an idea?
It's both physical and vocal. Obviously, I think my diagnosis is a slight offshoot of Tourette's. It's chronic tic syndrome. It's kind of the same thing but a bit different. But it's just I find I get Tourette's when I'm stressed.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and it's always there as a kind of reminder. If I'm getting loud or something, I need to chill and stress.
Wow. Okay.
So like way.
Yeah.
So like it can be just like a stress signal, if you know what I mean.
It's nearly like a little warning sign.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, Kieran. Alison, would you like to give us an example of how you found?
Yeah, I'm suffering with mental health problem for, I suppose, I can remember back when I was a teenager. But the only episode, I can't really remember someone slagging me, but I just used to be afraid to go out. I'd be afraid of people thinking they were more clever than me. It's anxiety I have.
Yeah.
Severe anxiety. So I thought sometimes if I kind of go with a proper, I don't know whether this is true, but I find if I watch what I eat and I curb my drinking habit, I can be in a better place.
Yeah, I felt,
Do you know,
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
it's so important, isn't
You
it?
can manage it a
but
bit
when I'm
better.
inside me, in that anxiety, it's very, very frightening.
Yeah.
And I'd be running, I'd be going, I don't know what to do. And, you know, I got great support from nurses
Yeah.
the last year when I took a bout of it.
Yeah.
Before that, when I was younger, there wasn't really, they put you into hospital, but there was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And North Circular Road reminded me of, you know, there was no support back in the 60s, 70s, whatever.
Yeah.
And you just were put in
Rushed
there,
under the car,
give you
yeah.
tablets and go
Yeah.
home. There was no recreation or...
Yeah.
So
People, I think, as well.
it runs in my family. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
can
Yeah,
do,
it
can't
runs
it?
in my so
I think
different.
people as well assume that people that have anxiety are weak people.
Yeah.
And that they could afford to just snap out of it or get the help, and that's
Yeah.
such a
Or
fake.
just relax.
Yeah,
really,
just
really
relax, calm down.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I've
I
had
think
that-
some
had that
people I know
said
that have anxiety are some of the strongest people I know, because having anxiety is incredibly difficult. You know, we all know that.
Yeah.
And it really takes an awful lot of strength to go about your life and to communicate with people and, you know, follow your daily routine, your tasks, while battling that constant demon of fear and all the time.
Yeah.
So I suppose one of the fake news things about anxiety will be that you're not weak, you're extremely strong, and you also don't have control over your anxiety a lot of the time. You can't just snap out of it.
Yeah.
Because people do kind of
No,
think
I've
like,
had those comments and from family as well, and
Yeah.
it's not nice.
No.
But, well, distant family,
Yeah.
my brother's wife, and I know she didn't mean it, but I was going along for months, feeling up and down with anxiety,
Yeah.
but I was still going to concert,
Yeah.
and then it just hit me.
yeah, it can get worse, can't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I probably let it get that way, or maybe I didn't. It just happens
Yeah.
that way,
It does.
and it's very
Yeah.
fearful
Yeah.
and what's that word?
Disassociation.
Dis-
Debilitating.
Debilitating.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Debilitating.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
But
Well, look, thank you for sharing. We appreciate that. It's hard,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you're
And
doing
it's actually
great,
can
so
be
fair play to you.
anxiety can be helped.
It can, yeah, it
can
can,
be helped.
but it's not an easy fix. Like, Megan, what would you like to share about yours?
So I think with schizophrenia, the whole thing is danger. That person's dangerous. It's from the movies, really, as well, isn't it? That person's gonna kill someone. They're dangerous. What are they doing? They're gonna light fires. They're going to attack me. You know, all that stuff that like they should be arrested. They're a danger to society. When
it's huge
the truth-
stigma on schizophrenia.
It
It's
is,
huge
yeah,
stigma,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still stigmatized now. Like anxiety and depression are everything is equal, but it's still being stigmatized to this day.
Yeah.
Like really badly.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with it.
Yeah.
It's
It's like mental illness has like almost like a spectrum, and people think, oh, you know, you have the good kind of mental illness, it's just a bit of depression or a bit of anxiety. But like the schizophrenia end of depression, end of mental illness, it's that's scary. You're dangerous, or you're weird.
Or like you're oh god, like what's she doing? Or like, you know, hearing the voices, it's like people in the past just comments, you know, like, how could that be real, Megan? Or like, oh, will you stop listening to them? Or you know, try to snap out of it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you can't just snap out of it. It's not that easy. It's not that simple at all. When you're hearing these voices, like
they're very real to you, like
especially like people who don't understand, haven't walked in your shoes.
Yeah.
Realistically, don't get it.
Yeah.
And you can study as much as you like, but it's until you walk in their shoes.
Yeah.
You know.
You have no idea what that feels like unless you've had it
And
happen
with
to you.
schizophrenia as well, it's literally like people actually think you're a mass murderer.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a horrible. It's a horrible stereotype,
It
really,
is,
because as if it's not hard enough struggling with this illness
I
yourself.
think
But
it's
it's
even
like
harder.
Are you born with it?
Kind of.
Are you born with it?
Well,
or
there's-
do you?
developed.
Or do
There's
you,
a few schools of thought about
or does
that.
it
But like
develop?
the stuff about
I don't know.
schizophrenia, like it's like the only, how would I say, the only like attention it gets is bad attention.
Yes, it's true.
There's never anything like, oh, that girl's lovely, you know, like she suffers from schizophrenia, but she's lovely. Whereas everything that's advertised about it is like on the movies, like, oh god, he's schizophrenic, he after killed someone.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
It's
not advertised
paranoia, kind of
Yeah.
total.
it's not
Yeah.
advertised
No,
in a
'cause the man-
positive way,
He or
and like,
she is a
Yeah.
schizo.
and then
Like,
it's schizo. Yeah, that's the
schizo,
word.
I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah,
that.
schizo.
I remember.
Such a
I remember
horrible
up
word,
at
isn't
The word, yeah.
I remember up at a graveyard one time. We went up for someone's birthday, and
graveyard?
yeah, it was great. It was his birthday. He was dead, obviously. but-
Oh, sorry, you went to put
Oh, he was
flowers
dead,
in,
okay,
yeah.
no.
yeah,
I
we went
was
to
saying.
yeah. And I remember one of the ladies just talking about something. She said, "Yeah, I'm a complete schizo," and to me it was, and I know this lady quite well, and I just thought it was so diminishing.
Yeah.
You know, she thinks like, oh, like paranoid, whatever. Blah.
Yeah.
She's hearing
She
voices.
said
well.
she was a complete.
She was
Yeah,
saying
but like she was taking, she was like.
She was
making-
using it as a
But she
negative thing.
Yeah,
negative
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
using
She
it.
was
Well, like-
acting a certain way that she
Yeah.
perceived as weird, so she called herself a
Yeah,
schizo.
and also then with the hearing the voices, everybody's like, oh Jesus, like look at like that is awful. Like that's weird now. You know, she's hearing voices. That's just what would the word be like? Just.
And disturbing or something.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, look at her. She's a weirdo. She's hearing voices. She's a complete weirdo.
Do you think it's a bit of
You know?
a lack of, lack of education about it?
Oh, it
or
is, 100%,
knowledge. Like if
yeah,
people
yeah,
knew
100%.
more and listened more, and
Exactly. It's just because I think it's a bit less common than anxiety and depression.
or else it's talked about less as well, probably.
It's talked about less because it
Yeah.
is a little bit less
Yeah, prevalent.
prevalent, but it's getting more and more these days. It's getting recognised more and more. So
Yeah, because
Yeah.
even other conditions like the likes of bipolar can involve psychosis and
Exactly,
voices and
yeah.
stuff as well. So I
Exactly,
suppose
yeah.
that side of it is more common as well in the likes of bipolar.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I mean, it should be getting more coverage because it's,
Exactly, yeah.
it's definitely
Schizophrenia. I don't even like the word.
yeah,
Yeah,
really.
well,
Yeah.
I don't even like the word.
It is a bit of an old
It's a
kind
bit
of.
of an old like
Mm.
asylum type word.
It
or
is,
something
isn't
like
it?
That, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely.
It's a Latin
is.
word for mad in the head.
It's
Yeah,
hard for
that's what
like,
it feels like.
That's why it's Latin.
younger people.
That's
Like,
what I mean when you hear when someone says they have schizophrenia, like, oh, she's mad in the head,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
You know.
That's the first
Yeah.
thing people tell you. That's the first thing.
yeah. It is. It's horrible.
it's hard. It's hard when you have loads of peers that think that way. Your
Like my
peers,
friends would
yeah.
usually like. People don't know how to deal with it in some situations as well, so
It's like a
that's
fear.
That's a
nearly.
bit tricky, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even my family, like, you know, oh god, like, is she hearing them again? Or
Yeah.
but they don't realise, never just goes away.
And what would your, I suppose, advice, like if people are listening and
Yeah,
they also maybe are guilty of some of these misconceptions,
yeah,
what, I suppose, as an advocate for somebody with schizophrenia,
yeah.
what would you like them to know about it?
We're all human.
You're all human.
All human. It's a chemical imbalance inside the brain.
Mhm.
You have a ligament torn.
Mm.
Chemicals in my brain have just moved a different way than the other
It's a
people's
broken-
has.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
a broken leg. I
Yeah.
have a sore
Broken
brain.
leg.
Yeah.
I've got a bruise on my brain.
Yeah.
You have a bruise on your leg.
Yeah.
You know, that's
And you don't want to
exactly
be
what it is.
treated
Yeah.
like a weirdo
Why
or
should
whatever.
the bruise on your leg be okay and the bruise on my head not to be okay?
Absolutely. Great
Yeah.
analogy. I like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really
But once
great
you have
way
just
of
a chemical
saying it.
imbalance,
Huh?
I do not have to fix the imbalance.
Yeah, well, medication helps.
Medication helps, yeah.
But it, you know,
It's a lot of work to yourself,
Yeah.
though. So
it's a huge, yeah.
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
I
And then-
heard that from a doctor years ago when I had, and it sounded lovely. A chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
sound,
Yeah.
it sounded nice,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
you
yeah,
know.
it's hard.
But at
Yeah.
the same time,
implications
that,
are
that
the
gives
other
it,
words
like
are-
obviously,
Yeah.
like
But it
I don't
does,
want
it
to
gives it a
have a chemical
chemical-
imbalance, but at the same time, it kind of gives it like a
No, it does. It's a reason.
a
and
reason.
it's-
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
a
I'm
weirdo.
not a
I
weirdo.
have this
Actually,
thing, a physical
exactly,
thing that
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
manifests itself in my condition. Yeah,
exactly, yeah. Exactly.
And I know someone that had schizophrenia, and then he jumped out of a train, but he broke 2 legs. But he got married,
yeah.
and he has 2 kids now.
Lovely. See,
Exactly.
there's look, there is light, even if your condition is very difficult and you know it's taken a lot to manage it. I mean, it is possible. I mean,
It is possible. Yeah,
you are
yeah.
a
So we
perfect
wouldn't
example
know-
of how you can come
Yeah.
back from darker times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Can I
Sorry,
explain?
Oh yeah, we like.
Yeah,
sorry,
come on,
Kieran. Yeah,
you
your
were
turn
first.
now.
Yeah.
How,
Can I
what would
explain,
you-
just before you go, can I explain when you have schizophrenia, what happens? Because she doesn't look like she, and happens.
Huh?
No, what happens when
Oh,
Megan
is
has it? No, because you don't realise she has it.
Yeah, you don't realise because they hide it so well.
No, because you don't look, she
Oh, I
has it.
get you. As in, you're asking Megan explain what a bad episode is for her.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we would know what,
Okay.
if she came in here and she had to rush home or whatever she had to do, we
Yeah.
wouldn't know unless because we.
Yeah.
Nobody would know except for the girls.
No, because you wouldn't because you don't come across as having
No,
Exactly. Yeah.
having
she's
anything.
very good at masking it, and
Yeah.
yeah, you shouldn't
What
have to.
triggers it all.
But
I know,
you,
but it's
yeah,
something I've
but
learned.
you've
to
learned
do.
to do
I've
that.
learned to do it in
Yeah, but
public.
but-
in
But
What
Megan
major
Megan
to-
could be suffering very badly, you know,
with
for a
voices all
moment.
day.
But you would
and
never
then-
know by looking at her.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
But a lot of mental
We would-
illness is invisible, though.
but
Like,
we were just
Yeah.
we
a
just
lot.
say,
Yeah.
you can't see
Yeah.
mental illness for the most part. Maybe with the exception of Kieran,
Yeah.
obviously you can see your tics.
Yeah.
You can't see the mental turmoil or whatever. But most people's mental health conditions, that is the problem,
It's
isn't
masked.
it? Because
Yeah,
it is in your
completely
head
masked, yeah.
physically, and
And it's
people
masked
don't
because
see
people
it.
have stigma.
That's it.
That's why it's masked.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
wouldn't. People wouldn't have to mask so much if it was more open and accepted.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
But Kieran, what before we end this, would you like to tell us your experience of people's stigma and
well, the stigma
stereotype?
around mental health is actually when you tell someone you have it, they'll say they have a worse condition than you.
Right.
They'll tell
Yeah,
you,
fair enough.
oh, and it
I
might go-
see you or
and-
something, and I raise you this.
And it might go on for
Yeah.
months and months.
Yeah.
You have it, you know, and then after a few times, after say a year or two, they say, "Get over it, or come." You know, like enough is enough. We're sick hearing it.
God, yeah.
We're sick hearing it for everybody.
People are
Yeah.
tolerant for a while, but then they get fed up.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like if someone died, and they'd be around for 3 or 4 days, and they say, "Sorry for your troubles." Well, when are you ready to come? When I am in trouble.
Yeah.
When you're in trouble, someone might run. But the best person that stays, the person that listens,
Yeah.
stays with you,
Yeah.
and in the same ring as you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So people, they're good when you first tell them you have a mental health condition, but they kind of get fed up of it, and they're kind of like expecting you to be better. You're not better yet, or we still have to
Yeah.
put up with this.
And and
Totally, yeah.
if you go to a doctor and say you have it, you don't want the doctor to write on your page that you have it, because the work might say she can't cope or he
Yeah.
can't cope. So they'll say, and one other thing, you don't say you have mental health, or you don't say you have a sore back
Yeah.
on any form,
Yeah.
even if your back is a.
But isn't
a
that
bit-
so sad though? That
That is sad that you
it's
can't
even
just,
it's even
yeah.
stereotype and judged wrongly with employers and even in institutions like doctors and medical fields.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the fact that you're seen, as I said, Alison, you're seen as weak or not able to cope if
You
you
might
have a
be-
mental health condition. But it's unfair because you could be very well able to cope with your job. A lot of as the masking would suggest,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
might mask all day and be the best at your job,
Yeah,
hyper
yeah,
focused,
yeah.
And then go home and,
and then go home and have a breakdown for the evening.
yeah.
Whereas
exactly.
it doesn't mean you're less able to do your job. But again, this is what people are forced to do,
No, but
to
then-
hide it, to
no, no,
mask.
Yeah.
but,
And
but
it just makes the
it
stigma
doesn't-
worse, doesn't
it
it?
doesn't really because you know why, you wouldn't have mental health problem if you could cope. You wouldn't have it if you could cope,
Well,
because that's why you have it, because you can't cope. You can't cope, and if too much pressure is coming on you, that
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
going
I
to
get you.
come down.
Yeah.
You'll be down, and you might be down for a long time before anyone notices or anything.
The only thing is though,
Yeah.
yes, it does mean you can't cope with maybe everything, but for example, I have a mental health condition. I don't talk openly about it either. I have anxiety disorder. It absolutely has never affected my job, ever.
Yeah.
And I've worked full time since I was 19. Yes, it affects me at times, and it's worse at times and better at other times. But it has never so much as made me miss a day in work. Because I can absolutely cope with my job. It doesn't manifest itself in that way
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, same with
So
me.
it's again, it's a misconception that you're not able to cope, or you can have a mental health condition your whole life and it never affect your
Yeah.
family life but it's affecting you internally,
Yeah.
But you
or
have to
your
figure
thoughts
out
about things yourself, or
what
Yeah.
Would I be right in saying this? You're right, because I went through that. I'm still able to do my jobs, but it's about you as a person, and loads of people, not about mental health. I think everyone has a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
It's about getting
Your
your
well-being.
coping
Yeah.
strategies and
yeah,
work,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
difficult if
Yeah.
you're having a major blowout.
absolutely.
Like someone said to me, and I can't know whether it was family or friend, said, "Do I get stressed? Well, it's that bad. Well, I get stressed as well." And I felt like I was going to zonk
Yeah.
down under the chair.
Like this is a lot
But
more
you
than
suffer-
normal day-to-day
Yeah,
stress.
because my feeling of anxiety is different.
Yeah.
All our anxieties are different to each other.
Yeah.
So it's
Absolutely, and your anxieties
Yeah,
about
and-
things are different. Like you
Yeah.
mightn't worry about the same type of things as someone else
Yeah.
might
So
worry
are
about.
we in the dark? A lot of people. We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About
We really are.
And one thing I was
We
going
are.
to say was,
Mm.
everybody thinks it's the old generations that have stigma, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Younger people have stigma.
100%.
Everybody
And-
has stigma.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks you go for your runs, you go
Yeah.
partying, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't
in
be-
our age.
yeah.
It's in, I'm 26. It's in my age. It's in your age.
Yeah.
It's in your age. It's everywhere.
It is, yeah.
And it's
There is-
bad.
Yeah,
There
even
is
teenage
every
kids, it's-
job that you ever do, every job that you ever do, there was something that caused you anxiety.
Oh yeah, sure. We all have
And that-
anxious moments in our
and
jobs.
Your
and then
first
if it
day
gets,
at
and then
anything or-
that thing could
Yeah,
make it worse,
that's good.
and that's where you get it
Yeah.
worse. Like
Mm.
you might, because I'm just saying, podcast,
Mm.
you know, and you say, oh, I hate doing that every week,
Oh yeah.
you know.
We
and
all
that-
have things in our lives that give us
Yeah.
anxiety. But I suppose the difference between just normal day-to-day stress and a mental health condition
And the
is
anxiety
that
where
it's
you
not
forget
all
to-
consuming.
and the anxiety where you forget to eat and
Yeah.
you won't go to the shop.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
you know,
It can
you
be
put a note
debilitating.
out and
Yeah.
stuff,
It's
yeah,
not just
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit of stress over a certain
Exactly,
thing.
yeah,
It's-
yeah,
know
It seeps
that-
into
yeah.
every area,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
exactly.
And the reason why you don't eat is because that's the one area you have control over,
Yeah.
and no matter what you do, you've no
And
control.
because I suppose your
Mhm.
appetite is gone if you don't feel good. You're just
Yeah,
Your
but we don't have-
senses break down. What did
Yeah.
the writing say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
senses all break
Yeah,
down.
no,
Well,
but you have
yeah.
the only thing you have control over is what you put in your mouth.
yeah.
That's the only thing you have control over.
Yeah.
And
And
when
Kieran,
you-
what would you, I suppose, then before we leave it, what would you like people to know, I suppose, about your not about your specific condition, but having a mental health condition? What would you like people to know that isn't true, that they think is true?
Mm. That when you're masking it, you'd be talking too much. That some people talk too much because they're trying to mask something.
Yeah.
Or some people when they're quiet, and if you were a happy person, and then somebody you're not to say, where's the happy person?
Yeah. Okay.
Where's the happy
Yeah.
person?
And
And it might be
actually,
just
it could be the opposite.
It could be the opposite. You could be thinking about something or trying to figure out something or do
So
something.
just because you're appearing happy and talky and whatever, that isn't really signify a good day. A good day for you could be when you're calm and you don't need to over talk. So you think
Sometimes,
that,
yeah.
I get you. God, yeah, that's very
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Well, listen, thank you guys
Yeah.
so
We leave
much.
it there this week.
Thanks
Bye.
a million, and we'll see you next
Bye.
week.
Swimness.